Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Welcome to our live stream. Do you know which country has the fastest Golden Visa program in the world, which can actually lead to becoming eligible for citizenship after 5 years without residing there for more than 3 days in 5 years is a minimum requirement? Oh, I know that was a big question, and most likely none of you will get that right, but that's okay. That's why I'm here. This is not you're not going to get marked for answering correct or not. As long as you've tuned in, you know now it's Panama, the Central American tax-free haven, which always has beautiful weather and oceanside. Within 6 to 8 weeks, you can potentially obtain a residency through investment, not donation, and have lots of flexibility in terms of the type of investment and how long you need to reside in this beautiful country. No taxation on your worldwide income, and one of the largest trade-free zones in the world. What more can you ask for? Let's cover the details in our live stream today with no editing, no censorship, no special effects. Just like the truth, all the rest of our videos are similar on YouTube. And let's get to it. Quick introduction. My name is Reza. I'm the founder of Ingwe Immigration, your gateway to second, third, fourth, or fifth residencies and citizenships, no matter for which country or where you're from. Today, I'm thrilled to announce our expansion of our services to more countries than just Panama, Canada, and way beyond, including Europe and New Zealand and so on. We have successfully helped hundreds of clients every year from over 55 different countries navigate the complex landscape of business and investment migration in Canada to various countries. Now we're bringing that same expertise to global markets with exciting new offerings that we're covering today, like Panama, Dubai, which is also fast but no citizenship, Portugal, which is a head-to-head contender with Panama, Malta, probably the lowest cost, one of the lowest cost EU fast-track residencies you can obtain, the Caribbean islands, which are mail-order passports directly to your home, whether it's Antigua and Barbados, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, Dominica, Grenada, or whatnot, and New Zealand for the sophisticated investor who wants a plan B in their pocket just in case. And of course, Greece is quite popular as well, and many more programs. Whether you're seeking a fast-track residency, looking to invest in real estate abroad, aiming to retire comfortably and enhance your quality of life, or perhaps even acquire direct citizenship for yourself and future generations, we're here to offer you those options. We provide more than just visa assistance. We've committed to supporting you from the origin location to the final destination, helping you navigate the government policies, cultural and language barriers, and to support your portfolio diversification or relocate for new opportunities for yourself or your children. And sometimes you don't even need to relocate to get those residencies and citizenships. Our commitment remains stronger than ever to our existing and future clients, providing personalized, innovative immigration solutions tailored to your unique needs. Our global partnerships, a multilingual team, ensures that no matter where you're coming from, what time zone you're in, wherever you plan to go, you'll have seamless support and our expertise. Okay, let's cover Panama now. Panama, of course, is a destination for permanent residency through investment for the qualified investor program, and it's one of the best options investors have out there. However, on October 15, 2024, the minimum investment requirements will increase, making it crucial for potential applicants to act fast if you're watching this live or video before October 15th. With its current affordable entry point for the investor program, which leads direct to residence at $300,000 US, this program offers immediate permanent residency in exchange for an investment in Panama, including such as real estate or even stock market at $500,000 or fixed term bank deposits, which is $750,000. October 15th onwards, the real estate option will jump up from $300,000 to $500,000 US. So that is a huge increase. It is very important that for the investors from the list of friendly nations visa from the Panama government The investment amount under the Golden Visa will remain at 200,000 for the real estate option, even after October 15th, 2024. We'll cover which countries are eligible later on in this live. What are the pros and cons of this Panama Golden Visa program? Well, Panama stands out as a highly attractive destination for foreign investment thanks to its exceptional banking system, the dollarized economy, and strong democratic government, as well, of course, strong trade zones and seamless incorporation of companies. Its strategic geographic location, which is in Central America, second largest free trade zone, further elevates this appeal for international investors and businesses. These advantages, combined with significant levels of foreign direct investment, have made Panama a hub for global commerce. And with this residency program, it is more lucrative than ever. Favorable tax environment, property taxes as low as 0.8%. Can you say that about your country? Additionally, a Panamanian passport allows visa-free travel to over 139 countries and more, adding another layer of return on your investment, because after 5 years, you can potentially obtain this passport. You don't need to live there the full 5 years. Excuse me. Or why choose the qualified investor program for Panama? Well, why not all these other countries? Why not Spain? Why not Portugal? Why not Greece? Well, here it is. And if this fits the bill for you and you don't want to go live somewhere to obtain a strong passport, remember, this passport can also get you into Australia visa-free and can also get you ETA status to Canada, which is basically without having to line up at the embassy if you've had a previous US or Canadian visa study or work permit previously. There's minimal stay requirements for the residency, so you only need to stay 1 day every 2 years to meet the residency requirements up to 5 years before being eligible for citizenship. The processing time is fast, 4 to 6 weeks for the residency. Remote application process. So most of the process is done remotely through our office, and for you to be anywhere in the world while you're going through this. Applicants only need to travel to Panama after the permanent residency is approved to finalize the process and pick up their ID. Then you can go back home. Flexible real estate investments, so investors can purchase any type of real estate, zero restrictions, commercial, industrial, residential, condos, villas, it doesn't matter, and even combine multiple properties to meet the minimum investment requirement to become eligible for the Golden Visa. It has a very efficient property titling system. With our support, the property title can be ready within approximately 45 days. Family residency options, you can include family members in your application, such as spouse, children under the age of 18, children up to the age of 25 if they're single and financially dependent on the parents. The return on investment is very good. Real estate investments in Panama offer competitive returns with average ROI of 6% or higher for residential properties and 7% or higher for commercial properties. So you can rent it out, basically. So during the 5 years, you're recovering some of your investment plus the capital gain potentially after all those years, which is pretty obvious, because think about it this way. It's a tax-free hub. Weather is always perfect at 28 degrees. It's in Central America, easy access to the US, North America, and Central America and South America. Second point is a lot of international trade. But more importantly, is that this program started at $100,000, the Golden Visa. Now it's at 300, and now it's going to 500. There's a lot of development going on, right? And there's a lot of growth. Citizenship eligibility, a simple 10-page booklet is provided and an interview conducted. The citizenship test is in Spanish, and the questions have been the same for the last 20 years. So, excuse me. So use your imagination. If the questions are the same for the last 20 years, and even if you don't know Spanish, how difficult could it be if you just study or cram for the last few months, 3, 4 months before the 5 year citizenship test? It's open to all nationalities. This is another huge point. So if you're from Europe, India, Pakistan, US, Canada, New Zealand, wherever, and you've never felt that that your country is being let's say discriminated against in terms of eligibility for some of these citizenship residency programs, then you will appreciate Panama, because all nationalities are welcome. All. Okay? I'm even talking about North Korea here, folks. So, and I'm pretty sure nobody in North Korea is watching me right now. But, and so imagine if they accept North Koreans, would they accept your country? Of course they would, no matter where you are from, no matter what nationality, what passport, right? It's an extremely good program. Let's just put it that way. Even though we think this is one of the best programs out there, as everything in this life, it does have its cons, meaning it has some disadvantages. So the pathway to citizenship is a bit long compared to, let's say, buying a Caribbean passport, or maybe being a citizen of Mexico and being eligible for Spanish citizenship in 2 years, or going for, let's say, some other countries, right? Like even Canada. In Canada, after the permanent residency, you can be eligible in 3 years, just to give you an idea. But it is head to head with Portugal, because Portugal, you can become eligible in 5 years and you don't need to reside there for a long time at all. There's no requirement. And Panama can compete against that, and maybe even better. It's easier to learn Spanish than Portuguese, folks. Trust me. The only other program where you could get a decent passport that is not Caribbean and not spend time would be Malta. And Malta is expensive. Okay. If you have anything less than 1 point whatever million euros, then don't even think about it. Remember, we're always posting about these key details for investors and entrepreneurs, for new programs and policy changes seeking residencies, passports, and even tax relief. And if that's what you're interested in, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel for more deep dive videos. What happens after the program threshold increases for the Panama Golden Visa as of October 15th, 2024? Well, even with the increased investment threshold, the qualified investor program will remain an attractive option compared to other programs, because Greece has increased their Golden Visa amounts, right? And Panama will be on par and even more competitive since it's in USD. However, those interested in lower investment thresholds, the Friendly Nations visa continues to be an excellent alternative. As of the recent changes, the Friendly Nations visa now requires an investment of at least 200,000 US in Panamanian real estate, or the establishment of a Panamanian company. While the program's earlier version allowed for a simpler and less costly route, the current requirements are still quite competitive compared to other global residencies and citizenship programs. The Friendly Nations visa provides a pathway to permanent residency for citizens of over 50 designated countries, including US and Canada, and we'll go through the list. It's particularly appealing due to its flexibility, relatively fast processing time, and minimum residency requirements to become eligible for citizenship and renew your residencies. The program allows the inclusion of family members, offering an efficient way to establish a footprint in Panama for both personal and or business requirements. Under the Friendly Nations visa option, you will receive a temporary residency for 2 years, and after meeting the minimum residency requirements, which is very low, and we've outlined earlier in this video, you can convert to another 3-year permanent residency before potentially become eligible at the 5-year mark. The list of countries for Friendly Nations is going to be posted on this article on our website. I'm going to go through them real quick. Andorra, Argentina, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Costa Rica, Croatia, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Great Britain, Greece, Hong Kong, Hungary, Ireland, Israel, Japan, Latvia, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Mexico, Monaco, Montenegro, Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Paraguay, Poland, Republic of Korea, San Marino, Serbia, Singapore, South Africa, that's a good one, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Taiwan, Uruguay, and the US, of course. And keep in mind, this list can change at any time. Make sure you check with the local authorities at the time or check with us at the time of application. Some of the pros of this options are it's fast and it's cheap, and you can obtain a tax-free residency. Plus, you can potentially apply for citizenship after 5 years. Imagine this, folks, and I'm talking to who? Our friends in Austria, our friends in the US who are taxed based on citizenship no matter. Imagine you become a citizen of a tax-free country. Wow. And it gives you tax visa-free access to many other countries. Now, that's what I call an ROI and an investment. On the flip side, the process begins with the submission of initial application at the immigration office for temporary residence permit. It takes around 6 months to process the initial application. This is for the Friendly Nations visa, not the regular stream. The regular stream is super fast. The Friendly Nations, it does take a bit of time, but hey, you're saving a couple $100,000. Once a provisional residency permit is issued, it's valid 2 years, during which the applicant must maintain the investment or the employment requirements if they went through the company route. After 2 years, they can convert to permanent residency under the Friendly Nations visa. Remember, the non-Friendly Nations visa, where you're investing $300,000 or after October 15th, $500,000, you will get a permanent residency upfront. Okay? If you like immigration hacks, creative immigration solutions, or key analysis, and the exposed truth about immigration policies and updates, then you can click on the subscribe button for our YouTube channel. In conclusion, Panama's qualified investor visa remains a compelling option for high net worth or even medium net worth individuals seeking global mobility, business opportunities, favorable tax environment. Let's just call it tax freedom, right? With the upcoming increase in the investment threshold, October 15, 2024, now it's the ideal time if you're watching this live or video before that date, because it's still at 300,000 into real estate, and consider a 6% ROI over 5 years before gaining your passport. It's a no-brainer. After October 15th, that investment amount is higher. But if you're from the Friendly Nations visa list, which I explained just now earlier in this video, then you are lucky, folks. And you can always consider becoming a citizen of one of these other countries. For those seeking a more accessible investment route, of course, this Panamanian option, both for Friendly Nations visa, and if you're from the Middle East or Africa or Far East and you're not on that list, that's fine. You are still able to become eligible for permanent residency through a little bit of a higher investment amount. But again, folks, that's what we've covered today. Thank you for tuning into our video. If you see the potential for yourself, your family, or your clients in securing a second, third, fourth, or fifth citizenship or residency, make sure you stay connected with us for the latest updates and opportunities, and more of a deep dive, not at a, let's say, on a surface level where we're just advertising a program. We like to deep dive into the program and look at the cons, the pros, and see who it's good for. Why would anyone do it? At Anyway, we're dedicated to crafting solutions that meet your specific immigration needs with clear upfront processes and payment milestones. We never take upfront payment for the whole process upfront. Of course, your investment is based on the milestones on the government program. We offer a variety of programs to match your goals, backed by our expert guidance, and our commitment is transparency, choice, and security. And communication. With comprehensive insurance and client trust accounts in Canadian banks, we protect your interests, and we're licensed here in Canada. Plus, our multilingual team speaks over 10 languages, and we've helped clients from over 55 different countries. Ready to take the next step? Click the link down below and contact us. If you want more personalized guidance, we can book a one-on-one session with me or any of my immigration team members to discuss a customized solution for you, your family, your next generations, and or perhaps your business. Let's get into our questions. And of course, you can ask us about Startup Visa Canada. You can ask us about Malta. You can ask us about Bulgaria, Cyprus, EB5 US. It doesn't matter. Our YouTube live is designed in a way so you can just ask the questions, and I'll tell you if I have the answer, and if I don't, I'll tell you as well, because I don't want to waste anyone's time. And folks, we've got our folks here on the YouTube channel right now, our audience members: Samir Nath, Nashvan Ali, Haitam, good to see you, Rosita, Sonia Ali, and Adekemi Adedayo. Okay, so if you are in the shadows watching, you can always post your questions and comments, and we're here to share. And that's at the end of every live, we go through this. So if you're watching this in the future, hello, people in the future, you're wondering who I'm talking to. It's actually the audience here on our YouTube right now that will be posting comments and questions. Samir Nath says, hi, Samir. Nashvan Ali says, hi, Reza. Is it required to submit a new letter of support from a designated organization if an essential member under the Canadian Startup Visa Program wants to extend the work permit? No, Nashvan Ali, it is not required. It is not posted anywhere in the regulations, in the checklist, or in the instructions. However, having a commitment, a continued communication and commitment from your designated organization during the renewal process is very helpful. Okay, so that meaning you will put in communication and meetings that you've had and of any source showing that that connection continues. Okay, for the PR, we have seen some officers request a new commitment from the designated organizations, but that's for the ones that there's been like a 2-3 year gap. Everything is unofficial because you can't read any of this on the checklist or instructions. Folks, Nashvan Ali was asking about the Canadian Startup Visa Program, which is the only federal direct PR business immigration program in existence for Canada. And why would you want to come to Canada? I don't know. It's the fastest G7 country passport you can get, and it's peanuts compared to everywhere else. Imagine, we do EB5 US, and it's minimum 800,000 US, plus the administrative fee, plus the legal fee. So you're looking at anywhere of 900,000 US plus, right? And that's like, what is that? Like 1.225 Canadian dollars. We have the Canadian Startup Visa is peanuts compared to all this, right? As long as you know what you're doing with the Canadian Startup Visa, you can get through it. If you don't know what you're doing, then yeah, that's a Hail Mary. Hi, Tim Musa. Hello, Reza. When we should expect our PR application if we applied last October 2023? Hi, Tim. It's a tough one. I have clients from Empower that have been waiting since last year before you. No news. And we know Empower is not a priority designated organization. And we have with priority organizations who applied in March this year, and they already have a PR number. They applied in February, another group. They already have a PR. They're already under review. I have another group under priority who applied last September. They're under review right now. Like, we'll probably have a decision by December for them. And I have another group again. So I got 4 priority groups in the last year who are already under review for PR. So, and I have clients who are non-priority who've been waiting for 2 years. Okay. I have some from 3 years ago who are still under process because there have been gaps with the officers looking at the PR, reviewing, and then a year later following up. So that we're talking about Canadian Startup Visa, folks. So of course, if you have questions about any other program, EB5 US, if it's Greece, Malta, Portugal, Spain, Dubai, New Zealand, Panama, you name it, Bulgaria, Cyprus, and we're adding more countries, by the way, folks. Samir Nath, hi Reza. Does Panama have ETA with Canada for Golden Visa holders? So Samir, the way it works is Panama Residency doesn't give you ETA status to Canada, right? But keep in mind that it's a lot of people, if they go there as a resident, of course, you can apply for visa through the Canadian Embassy or US Embassy if you want to go to those countries. The passport will give you ETA status if you've had a visa to US or Canada in the past 10 years before applying to Canada. And it gives you free access to Australia. However, the residency doesn't. The residency is mainly for Panama. The passport can give you more access. Okay, I hope I've explained that to you. I don't want to give any misinformation. And Panama, which I didn't explain, has E2 status with Canada, US, which is huge, right? And if you know anything about E2, and if you know about Grenada, which is the only other fast track citizenship country which has E2 status with US, then you know E2 status makes it easy to get a work permit and go into the US, potentially cheaper than an EB5. Nasrin, Rosita says, hi, Reza June. Hello, Rosita. Good to see you. Hi, Tamusa. What is the process time to work permit renewal from inside? Oh, I've seen all over, Haitam. I've seen 4 months. I've seen at least 4.5 months. Yeah, that's what I've seen. But again, every 6 months, Haitam, the government mutates and the process changes and the timelines change. But usually what I've seen, 4.5 months for work permits inside. So you got to apply. Haita Musa, what is the scenario if it was rejected? Are we able to reapply or will we have to leave the country? So Haitam is asking about the Canadian Startup Visa Program. If he's here with an optional work permit and he wants to renew after the 1 year validity of his work permit. If you are refused, you can reapply. You can apply for reconsideration if you believe the office has made a mistake. You can even take it for judicial review. But again, that takes a long time, so it's not feasible. You can apply, but see, the point is, you can do reconsideration, you can do judicial review with the old letter of support. But if in order to reapply for a work permit item, you need a new letter of support, which is valid, right? So your designated organization has to cooperate with you on that. And yes, you can ask for reconsideration. You can ask for restoration and convert to visitor status. That's another way to stay in the country. But if all else fails, you got to leave. Yeah, unfortunately. Because you don't want to undermine your PR application because you've overstayed for temporary residence, such as a work permit. Samir Nath, SUV applicant batches that submitted their PR during January, February 2020. Have you seen any anomalies where some such team already got their pre-arrival checklist by now or maybe received something else? Yeah, as I said, I was explaining to Haitam, we've had several priority designated organization SUV groups from September, October, February this year, and March this year who are already under review. So they received a permit file number, they received an update request, and we believe the government was in sleep mode, like hibernation, and they've ramped up their processing this September, and they were out picnicking in August. So we're seeing a huge ramp up of approvals and refusals September onwards right now in 2024. And we believe they want to catch up because they were literally doing nothing, maybe internally doing something, maybe mutating. But up to December, we think a lot of groups are going to have decisions on their PRs that are already under review or have a file number. So the anomaly, Samir, is that priority designated organization SUV endorsed groups are seeing acknowledgement of receipt of their documentation in 6 months and potentially a PR decision in 12 months. That's what we're seeing. Sonia Ali, salam Raza. Hello, Sonia. Salam back to you. Adekemi Adedayo, and I'm interested, sir. Okay, Adekemi, you can reach out to our team. You know our website. If you're on our YouTube channel, just click on our website. Or just I'm putting a email address for you. Just mention that you're interested in this program and you were on our live stream. So our team will help you for sure. Sonia Ali, in our group of 3 members received the PR. Okay, in our group, 3 members under Startup Visa Canada program, 3 members received the PR. Only 1 left. What might be the reason as well? Docs were submitted at the same time. There's no reason, Sonia. Sometimes it's non-essential, essential, which is not a factor that much. Could be a security check. It could be missing information, right? But keep in mind, if all 4 are essential, then they would not have approved the 3, and then there's a problem with the 4th. That would not have happened that way. If everyone is essential and 3 of you have it, the 4th one will have it too, because there's no way they would have done that. You understand? Because they can't give you a PR and then revoke it and say, oh, sorry, the fourth essential member is inadmissible or ineligible. But if they're non-essential, that's a different point. Okay. Safa, hi Raza, nice to see you today. Hey Safa, good to see you. Thanks for joining us today on our YouTube live. We all of our founders received the medical test again since the last ones were expired. No more updates. That's good news, Safa. I've seen a lot of medical requests coming in, even for our groups and some of our clients. So that means you're on your way. We'll keep going in our business and due diligence until the last second. Correct, Safa. And you know when the last second is? When you arrive at the airport, you fill out the forms for your landing papers. They give it to you, and you exit the airport, the luggage trolley area. You exit that, get in a car, and leave. Then you're free. Not before that, okay? So, and I'm serious. I'm not joking. Samir Nath, because it's all about probability. Even if there's a 0.001% chance that something could happen the last second, you want to be ready, right? Samir Nath, for overseas spouses of this Canadian Startup Visa program, have you seen high rejection rates due to ties to home country factor for the spouse's open work permit application done from inside Canada when their SUV husband applies for them? Okay. So Samir's question is for spouses of main applicants under the Canadian Startup Visa program, which is the only federal business immigration program in Canada that it leads to direct PR from overseas. Samir is asking, have you seen high rejection rates due to ties to home country factor for the spouses who've applied for the open work permit program? For the spouses open work permit done from inside Canada when their SUV husband applies for them. No, I haven't, because what happens, Samir, is most of the time we apply for them from outside. So we don't have a lot of cases, to be honest with you, where we've applied for the spouse of a main applicant under Canadian Startup Visa program from inside to convert to an open work permit. And keep in mind, it's not really advisable, but I haven't seen any cases, so I can't comment on that. Safa, good. Samir Nath, SUV member, Canadian Startup Visa program member who are inside Canada on closed work permit, while their spouse is in India. When they apply for their spouse's open work permit, typically what's in the timeline like these days that you've noticed? It can be anywhere. I've seen 2.5 to 4.5 usually. Of course, you get the abnormal processing times where I have clients who might have been waiting for 6 months, but usually 2.5 to 4.5 months is a good range, a safe range. Rita Maria, greetings to you, Chief Boss. Hello, Amaka, how are you? Safa Salah, what are other documents might be required after the pre-arrival service letter other than the medical test? So Safa is asking about the Canadian Startup Visa program. What are other documents that might be required after the pre-arrival service other than the medical test? It's tough, Safa. Before, the pre-arrival, like would have just led to PR, right? And now we've received clients in like April, May, where they've requested updates on their business after pre-arrival. So I'm going to refrain from answering that question because the pre-arrival at this stage doesn't mean anything. But after you have a medical exam and the results are out and everything's clear, I could say that potentially that could be one of the last stages. Could be. But again, I'm refraining from actually confirming what will exactly happen because everything has changed, as you know, since April onwards. Samir Nath, how soon after the landing in Canada on a closed work permit can a startup visa applicant file application to call their spouse over on an open work permit? Is there a general typical cooling period? No, Samir, you can apply together, or when they apply, when you arrive, you can apply. But the point is, if you're waiting to arrive and then apply, well, you got to have something solid here to apply, right? Otherwise, what's the point, right? You might as well just apply together. When making their progress report, how do SUV founders actually prove that they have hired staff in Canada? What evidence do they show? It's a payroll. So you could show CRA payroll, like there's several people on payroll. You could put their resumes in. If you really want to, you could put a employment contract of the hired Canadian staff. Those are important things. Hired employment contract, um, the PD7A, which is the payroll summary of the employer. If you use the recruitment firm or you posted job ads and then you hired them, that could work too. So there's a lot of things you can include. Sonia Ali, so non-essentials can still be rejected? Yes, Sonia. Non-essentials can at any point be rejected without affecting anyone else in the group. Samir Nath, ideally, is it good practice for the startup visa applicants teams to proactively upload their startup progress, like say every 3 months, or should they wait till IRCC asks? Is it positive or negative? If you have a file number, I would say submit every 6 months. If you don't have a file number from the IRCC, then you can't really upload anything, but you have to every quarter update your designated organization. That's what I would say, like continuous communication and meetings. That's very important. Samir Nath, what we've been the typical common rejection reasons that you've generally seen for SUV work permit applications from Abu Dhabi? What's been the prevalent common reason there? It's just generic stuff. You need an LMIA. This is like the most standard refusal for startup visa work permits. No LMIA, needs LMIA, which is labor market impact assessment, which means you're not LMI exempt, which means there's no significant benefit. So that's the most common, just so you know. And then the next one would be like, I don't see how your going to Canada will bring significant benefit. That's another way of saying you need an LMIA. Then the third would be that I've seen less likely is I don't see how your expertise, and skill set and background actually fit into the startup and for you to go on a work permit to Canada. Okay. F777, Hi-Res, any chance for rural renewal stream for Outlander anymore? You have to wait for the next 1 week for the Alberta PNP. Sorry, Atlanta. I've been thinking EB5 USA for a while. For the Alberta Provincial Nominee Program to launch their new expression of interest points-based system, then realize, is there a chance, or it's very unlikely, right? But it will be more difficult. Folks, if you have any more questions, let me know, whether it's Malta, Portugal, Spain, Bulgaria, Cyprus, Dubai, New Zealand, Panama, Canada, EB5 US, we are here to help you. And of course, the Caribbean islands, and our favorites being Antigua, St. Lucia, but it doesn't mean we don't do Grenada, Dominica, and St. Kitts. Samir Nath, are there organizations in Canada that help startup visa teams find potential clients? And yeah, I mean, it's tough to find a client. So you got to put it this way, Samir. You need a good product or service that's commercially viable and works well to find customers. Then in order to find customers, you need business to B2B business development or online marketing for B2C. So you could get a marketing company if you're looking to get clients to B2C online. If you're B2B, you can also hire agencies that do B2B business development for you, right? But if your product or service, whatever it is not working, it's not available, it hasn't been tested, it hasn't been commercialized, then yeah, there's no point of trying to find customers. You could find collaborators, joint venture partners, or pilot project type early onboarding customers, that don't pay initially. But other than that, that's how you have to look at it in terms of finding clients. If your product is there, it's perfect, it's been commercialized, it's there, it's working. And if it's B2C, well, you need a marketing agency for online, right? And if it's B2B, you can get B2B business development, sales, outsourced sales services. Yeah, it's so. I would say it's hit and miss with those agencies. But the marketing, it's online marketing. You could even do it yourself. You can hire somebody even from your own country. But of course, everything you do in Canada will be considered a significant benefit, and your proactive investment into actually running the business in Canada. Because the more you do outside of Canada under the Canadian Startup Visa program, the less likely you're showing your intention of successfully running it from inside Canada, right? Folks, great meeting everyone today. Thank you, Samir, Safa, Sonia, Ali, F77, Amaka, and of course, Nashvan, Ali, Adekemi, Haitam, of course, and the people in the shadows. Never forget the people in the shadows. Nobody sees them, but we have to thank them. Hopefully in the future you'll come out and ask your questions in our regularly scheduled YouTube live. I'm not available next week, traveling, so we won't have our regular schedule next week, but every week onwards, subscribe to our YouTube channel and we'll notify you on Thursdays that we're online and we're here to answer your questions on global residencies and citizenships. And folks, I've lived in multiple countries and cities. I've had multiple citizenships and residencies. I've had multiple countries. So I know what works, I know what doesn't. And I know which countries are a waste of money and time if you want to invest and obtain a residency or citizenship versus the good ones. And trust me, if you're from a country that may have restrictions on some of these other countries, there are solutions for you too. And if you're from countries where there is no discrimination against you and you've got the whole world to pick from, well, there's very unique niche programs like the New Zealand one. And there's very niche programs like Bulgaria and Cyprus that a lot of people don't have access to. And there's, straightforward programs like Panama that, again, not many agencies around the world are offering, but we are, because it is one of the best ones. And I'm planning to actually apply for 2 of these programs myself, hopefully in the near future, because everyone needs multiple residencies and citizenships just in case, because we know what happened in COVID and we know what sometimes these governments can do. You want that freedom of mobility. You want that footprint, maybe that financial footprint for your business, for your family. And remember, as long as the citizenship gets passed on to future generations, why would you not do that for your future children, right? Or their children's children. Even in the Caribbean islands where you buy a passport, you have it literally delivered to your door in 6 months to 8 months max. Your children's children are eligible to obtain that citizenship. So why would somebody say 250,000 US or more is an expensive investment? No, it's not. Maybe it's outside of your budget, but it's not expensive. With $200,000, you can buy a car, which is going to be worth $50,000 in 4 years. Or you can buy a citizenship, and it can stay for future generations. And it's all it is a backup plan. If you have life insurance or ever considered, or if you have insurance, car insurance, you should have this type of insurance too. It's global mobility insurance. That's what we call it here. Folks, see you next Thursday. Thanks everyone for joining. Take care. Appreciate it. And remember, don't just apply. Apply with a plan. Okay? Take care.